What to do when you're being followed. You're walking down the street, your heart sinks to your stomach, and there's this nagging gut feeling telling you that someone is following you. Most people behave in a way that actually puts them in danger if they're really being followed. We don't want you to make these mistakes. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to act in the unfortunate case you're being put in such a situation. Welcome to Info Junkie TV, the place where you'll find answers to all of your questions, infomaniacs. We hope you'll like this new video that we've created especially for you. We know how it feels to need your curiosity satisfied about something that interests you. And that's exactly why we're here. We want to quench your thirst for knowledge and fascinate your mind with astounding discoveries. So get ready for this manual on how to act in the frightening event where someone is following you. Wait till you know about how your favorite celebrities dealt with stalkers and what happened to them. But first, let's talk about what you should do. After all, it's a situation any of us can face, not just celebrities. It's actually your avoid list if you feel like you're being followed by someone. Big no-nos that are common mistakes victims make. You might be tempted to go back straight to your home and lock all your doors. That is actually the worst thing you can do, especially if you're worried that the person following you is intending to harm you. You'd be leading them to where you live, and then you might not be able to get rid of them. Another big no-no is parking lots and intersections. These are the most common places for attackers to corner you and attack you. Avoid deserted roads too. Now, if you're feeling brave, you might be tempted to follow your follower. Don't. Never follow your follower. This is the most dangerous game. You don't know what kind of person you're dealing with. Things may escalate quickly. And most importantly, don't panic. Pay attention to your breathing so you can stay grounded and make good decisions. If you thought that was interesting, wait till we get to how celebrities dealt with stalking situations. Now, let's look at the first things you should do when you feel like someone is following you. When something feels off, your body usually sends you signals that warn you of potential danger. And while it's important to listen to your instincts, the first thing you need to do is make sure you're actually being followed. How can you do that? The best strategy is to turn and take a path that leads you back to a place where you've already been on your walk. Because think of this, no one will normally keep on walking in circles. If the same person is still behind you, then you can be sure you're absolutely being followed. Now that you've confirmed that you're being followed, what should you do next? One genius tip is to record a video of the person who's following you. To make sure they don't see you, hold up your phone to your ears as if you're calling someone. It's a great tip from former Green Beret Sergeant Major Carl Erickson. If you're at a distance where they can't hear you, narrate everything you can see about the person who's following you. That way you have video records of the person as well as all the details about the incident, so you can use them later when you go to the police. It's not just the follower you must think of. You must think of yourself too. Put yourself in the right state of mind to face this. Focus on your surroundings and avoid any distractions so you can be alert and able to protect yourself. Remove your headphones and look up from your phone screen. This is a time when you must be very present and focused. Pace your breathing and bring your attention to your senses. This is how you ensure that your brain is functioning properly and that you are able to make better decisions that can save your life. Every piece of information you take in now will come in handy later when you're giving a report on what happened. Now that you're all set for dealing with the situation, start acting. Make sure you're ahead of the person following you and that you're in a crowded place. Go to a coffee shop or a store and order something. Crowds frighten stalkers because there are too many witnesses. So by being in a crowded place, you'll most likely get them to stop following you. But most importantly, your stalker will be recorded on surveillance cameras inside the store or the coffee shop. It will also give you time to gather information about your stalker. Once you're in a safe, crowded area, it's time for a little bold move. Try pretending that you forgot something. Then go back in the opposite direction, just to take a look at them. This will give you an opportunity to take a look at your follower. But again, don't do this except in a safe, crowded area. Gather every detail about that person. Don't focus on the clothes. Look at their height, age, hair color, eye color, and any distinguishing features. It won't be easy to do this. You need a lot of self-control and to be calm in order to act wisely. Remember to be in control of your breathing and to use positive self-talk. I can do this. Calm down. Everything is going to be okay. Now, of course, you're not expected to be walking with a tool to use against your stalker in case it gets dangerous. But actually, A great tool for self-defense is your keys. Hold your keys in your hands. They can be a sharp self-defense weapon against your stalker if they start attacking you. In the case where it gets ugly and you have to, aim for their eyes, as it's their weakest point. If you're at a point where you saw the follower and you're 100% sure you're being followed and the danger is real, the next step is to call the police. Try to stay on the line with the police as long as possible. If there's a police station nearby, head there immediately. You must report this incident as soon as it happens. Don't wait until you go home. That way you can tell the details while they're still fresh in your mind. You risk talking yourself out of it if you don't do it right away. Report every single detail, no matter how small. So what if it gets dangerous sooner than you think, and you don't have time to seek help earlier? If the situation gets really bad, scream at the top of your lungs and move to a place where there are lots of people. Draw as much attention as possible to yourself. Try going to a stranger and talking to them. Act like you know them, and let them know you're being followed. Share your live location with one of your contacts to let them know where you are at all times. That way, you can feel safer that someone out there is keeping an eye on you in case anything goes wrong. Before we tell you all about crazy incidents where celebrities were followed by obsessive stalkers, let's delve into why they even do that. Why would someone spend their time stalking someone else? A study on stalkers and their victims found that most stalkers were men, 79% of all stalkers. 39% were unemployed, and 52% had never had an intimate relationship. If you're wondering, I'm not a celebrity, why would anyone follow me? You might be interested in knowing who the victims of the stalkers were. They included ex-partners, professionals or work contacts, and strangers, with ex-partners being 30%. Now we'll tell you about the 5 most common types of stalkers. 5 types of stalkers were identified: the rejected, the incompetent, the resentful, the intimacy-seeking, and the predatory. The intimacy-seeking and the incompetent types are the ones that usually stalk celebrities. Paul Mullen, the stalking expert who analyzed the stalkers and their victims, defines the 5 types. Number 1, the rejected type. This is someone who has experienced the unwanted end of a relationship, which was mostly with a romantic partner, but also with a work associate, acquaintance, or parent. Usually, the stalker is seeking reconciliation, but when these attempts fail, they seek revenge. Number 2, the intimacy seeker. It's someone who's usually a complete stranger, but identifies their victim as their true love. They begin to behave as if they are in a relationship with that person. Many intimacy-seeking stalkers carry the delusion that their love is being reciprocated. Number 3, the incompetent type, whom also hopes that their behavior would lead to a relationship. However, this type of stalker acknowledges the fact that their victim does not reciprocate their love, but regardless, they still continue their pursuit. Number 4, the resentful stalker. This type has feelings of injustice and seeks revenge. They have a perception that they have been treated unfairly and humiliated, and they often view themselves as the victim. Number 5, the predator. This type desires no relationship with the victim, but wants a feeling of power and control. They usually want to physically or sexually assault the victim. Now that you know why people can become stalkers, you can see why it comes as no surprise that the people at the highest risk of being stalked are celebrities. Let's take a look at some of the creepiest stories. Gigi Hadid had a stalker who allegedly tried to break into her New York City apartment 5 times back in 2015. He also left creepy messages on his Facebook page including, "I love you, I know everything now, wait for me, soulmate." He was sentenced to up to 3 years in prison. Madonna had numerous stalking incidents. There was one stalker who followed her around California in the 90s. He climbed over the fence of her house and tried to contact her numerous times. He threatened to cut her from, quote, ear to ear, unquote, if she didn't agree to marrying him. He was arrested in 1995 and served 10 years in prisons and psych wards, escaped a psych ward, and was arrested again. In 2010, Jennifer Aniston won a restraining order against her stalker, who believed that he was going to marry Aniston. He was carrying a sharp object, love notes to Aniston, and duct tape when he was arrested. Guess what else he had with him? A list of potential baby names. And with that creepy thought in mind, it's now time for a recap. You've learned what not to do if you feel like you're being followed, like going back to your place or following your follower, and how to behave if you're sure someone is following you, including staying in crowded areas and pacing your breathing. Also, now you know why people develop stalking behaviors based on 5 types of stalkers: the rejected, the intimacy seeker, the incompetent, the resentful, and the predator. Celebrities are the ones who are most likely to be stalked, and we've given you some examples. Still, you must be cautious because it can happen to anyone. Being followed is a very scary experience, so please take care and act wisely whenever you feel like you're being followed. Remember, don't panic. Never go straight back to your home, and call the police if you feel like you're in danger. Thank you, Infomaniacs, for tuning in and watching our video. If you found it interesting, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Junkie TV, and turn on the notification bell for more mind-blowing topics that are yet to come your way. Leave a comment and share with us incidents where you or someone you know thought you were being followed. If you've never experienced that, what's the first thing you would do if you found yourself in such a situation? Stay safe, Infomaniacs, and we'll see you real soon.